The friends that you have that are escorts, are they experts at sex?
Oh, hell no. They're, no.
This is a huge misconception.
Yeah, it's a huge misconception. They're just basically your folly girl that'll lay on her back and get screwed any way you want her to. Because I remember calling one of my friends' phone by accident, and the phone answered, but she wasn't on it, and you could hear it in the background. And I was with two of my other friends. We were trying to get a hold of her to do something, and you could hear like the actual sex act taking place, and we were just like appalled at how horrifying it sounded. It was like, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Do it this way. Do it this way. And I was just like, oh, I don't think that I would.
Do what? What do you mean? Like some guy was giving her orders, or she was giving him orders? Or?
Yeah, he was trying to get her to do what he needed to do the right way because she absolutely had no idea what was going on. As sad as that is, you know, and this is somebody that's selling themselves for sex. So, I think that with given time, she'd probably become a really good expert at it. But that's with having multiple sexual partners and multiple different experiences of sex. You know, sex with two different people is never going to be the same at all. So you're gaining a sexual experience every time these women go out and do this. It's a new sexual experience. That just adds one notch to that belt. So given time, yeah, I believe that escorts and anybody that sleeps with enough people can be a sexual expert, whether they're a dancer or not. But yeah.
So you make it sound like a girl who's just not even interested in her boyfriend. This doesn't even want anything to do with them, and she's just laying there going, okay, do whatever you need to do.
No, I don't think it's quite that bad. I think that they're like the whole, yeah, honey, yeah, just do that, or whatever the case may be, whatever character, because I from what I understand, the girls that I used to know that were escorts really had to develop a separate character. It had to be a completely separate entity when it got to that extent. Because it's not like dancing where you can go in and communicate with somebody and feel comfortable knowing that you're going to see that person again and be like, blah, blah, blah. A lot of the girls that I know actually had to create a separate personality and entity to become that person when they would go off to work, and then that person stayed at work and they came home who they were. And so, and that to me, that would be a hard thing to do. That really would, because it's not your play character like dancing. Dancing is a play character. It's a fun character to be. It's that whole you're not losing any respect for yourself. You're not, you know, and you're not in any trepidation. You're not hurting yourself mentally in any way. Some people that go and dance and they find they don't like it, feel like they're degrading themselves to that extent, like, well, I took my clothes off for a guy or whatever. And that's fine. Everybody's, you know, entitled to that opinion. But the difference in characters when you have an escort and a dancer are two different characters. Escorts are people that are basically in hiding about what they do, so they have to create a separate character and entity. Dancers aren't in hiding about what they do, and 90% of them have a good time with it. And then you have your basic prostitutes, like your Wells, and those girls don't have to have a separate entity. They're not hiding, they're having a good time doing what they're doing, and it's not, there's three separate directions there altogether as to what you have to become for that situation.
Have you ever just been bored with your boyfriend and been like, okay, whatever, do what you have to do, and just lay there, and he's like, what's wrong with you?
No. Like, in the past, other boyfriends, yeah, I can say that definitely. This boyfriend is the one that actually has given me more sexual mentality experience than anybody I've ever been with in my life. But he can create the greatest sex stuff, so it's always up on your toes. It's like, yeah, let's do this. You know, I never got to do any of the fun. I mean, I've been dancing since I was 16. Never got to do the fun whole role-playing stuff or, you know, exciting things where you're like, hey, let's go to a strip club and I'll get you a lap dance, you get me one, and we'll have fun with it, see where it goes, you know. And so it's a lot of fun. It's fun for me to, you know, have great sexual experiences.
Do you think it's a common thing for women to just become bored of their mates and decide that they want to live on the edge and dance?
I think it's a common thing for both people to become bored with their sex, but I don't know that dancing has any. I don't think that a woman will actually stray to become a dancer when she's bored with her sexual partner.
I've interviewed women over their 40s, and they've said that they'd wish that they had done it, or that if they'd had a choice, they may have tried it. That it's a fantasy that they've picked up on TV, watching shows on cable.
I think that would be the same thing as having an affair at, you know, 40 years old. It's something that you wish you'd done and maybe would have tried doing it, but the bottom line is that they didn't go do it. That's the whole thing right there. So I don't think it would have made them stray to do it. I think that it would have made them feel exciting. And it's not about the sex with their sex partner. What it's about is the attention that they need to receive from other men. As much as those men are enjoying watching these girls, it's still feeding attention to a 40 woman who's not interested in her mate at that time, or he's not interested, or he's not giving her what she needs to do. And for her to become a dancer would have been a safe way for her to get that attention that she needed to get.
In a few years from now, maybe 8 years, 9, what are you going to do if your son brings home a stripper?
Definitely gonna negotiate. I'm definitely gonna go, hey, look, it's fine what you do, I did it myself, and I just want you to know that, I mean, the bottom line is I don't want somebody to really take advantage of my own son. I'd have to really evaluate just what kind of stripper she was.
So you don't trust them? You think that strippers take advantage of men?
I think that in a sense, yeah, they do. It's all about here, can you dance for you? Don't forget to put your money up here. Yeah, put another $1 up there. That's really good. Yeah, no, yeah, go ahead and throw that 50 up there. Yeah, in a sense, I think some do, and then I think there's some that there's people that it's hard to explain. It's not totally taking advantage of it. There's people that get taken advantage of, and they're going to get taken advantage of no matter where they are, whether in a strip club or they're riding the track down the street and somebody mugs them. There are people that are bound to get taken advantage of, and that's really sad to say, but it's true. But any guy who will actually come into a strip club and blow his entire paycheck when he's got a wife and kids sitting at home, that's somebody that's going to get taken advantage of on a repetitive basis, because that's somebody that you look at and go, yeah, well, I'm the piranha, you're the little fish, and I'm just going to eat you.
And you see that a lot.
Oh yeah, you see that everywhere, not just in a strip club though. You see that everywhere, but in a strip club it is. That's a thing that happens.
Sometimes it seems as though it's so safe here